I'm Charles Webb, inviting you to join me on Monday nights at 8 for Season 2 of Inside Bermuda Homes, a program showing how Bermuda lives. That's Monday nights at 8 o'clock on ZBM TV 9 or Inside Bermuda Homes.
Save $1.10 on Purdue Fresh Value Pack Chicken Leg Quarters, $1.79 per pound. Save $2 on fresh sweet blueberries, $3.99 for a 6-ounce tub. For your holiday baking, $3.29 for a 1-pound tin of Crisco shortening. Frozen DiGiorno Rising Crust Pizza, $9.50 for a 27.5-ounce box. Save $1.66 on selected varieties of Minute Maid juices, $6.19 for a 10-pack. Visit our website at www.marketplace.pm for more super specials.
You can count on us.
Live from Bermuda Broadcasting, this is ZBM TV 9 News.
Good evening, everyone. It's Thursday, November 16th, 2017. I'm Diane Brewer, and thank you for joining us tonight. A possible December start to major construction on the site of the new St. Regis Hotel in St. George's. At least that's the hope of St. George's North MP Renee Ming, who says the PLP government is working with the developers to ensure the success of the project, but is also to ensure the interests of Bermudians are met. Gary Moreno tells us more.
As we previously reported, construction could not begin until the rerouting of the roadway was completed. That's expected to be done within the next 2 weeks and will allow for the reopening of the nearby Coot Pond Road. The construction phase is expected to provide employment for about 300 Bermudians, and Renee Ming, MP for St. George's North, where the new hotel will be located, tells us she remains in close contact with the developers, the Desarrollos Group, in order to have the project expedited.
In October, I want to say October the 15th, we did a site walkabout with the representatives from the hotel development, and we were able to ask questions, voice concerns that we've received from our constituents, and just to sort of get a layout of the land and to understand our role now as government and what it is that we'd have to be, have to be in a position to do.
We sought to find out what might have been discussed with the developers during those meetings.
This Hotel Act and the concessions that came in May were prior to us taking over government. So there are some things that we've inherited as a result of. So we have to do the best we can with what we have. And like I said, we continue to advocate, and where possible, we try and make sure that the Bermudians are fully represented in terms of in the job process, and the constituents are represented in terms of the beach, and that we stay within the confines of what it is we've agreed to, but make sure who it is that we represent.
And in case you're wondering, yes, access to the neighboring Fort St. Catherine's Beach remains the main concern of constituents in St. George's North.
The constituents have been concerned from day one that the beach remain public with full access to them. We have had that, been asked many times to define reasonable access, and that's difficult because we never actually got a definition of what reasonable access is. But the constituents have asked that we continue to advocate on their behalf, and just to ensure that the beach does remain public and and they are able to use it.
The developers have long maintained there will be free access to the beach once the project is completed. Of course, one of the biggest concerns has been whether the hotel will actually extend onto the nearby Fort St. Catherine's Beach. Well, those fears can now be put to rest as this pink outline demarcates the boundary of the hotel. The former OBA government provided a guarantee of up to $25 million for the estimated $150 million cost of construction of the new St. Regis Hotel in St. George's. And according to Ms. Ming, that has not been revisited. Meanwhile, it is expected that the new hotel will provide casino gaming when it was announced that the 262-year lease for the hotel was signed.
The government has been very clear on our position. The legislation, the regulations were passed in the House. We set the parameters of what we expected licenses would follow. It's very clear this development would fit into that category. The decision on the license is not going to be made by the government. It's made by the Gaming Commission. But we believe that they're in a good position to make an application and let the Gaming Commission decide. We're not going to get involved in those licenses for many, many reasons, and that process will continue. But it's clear. Read the Act again. This development meets those requirements of tourism development. That's very important to remember.
This despite the fact that that no casino gaming licenses have yet been granted. Gary Moreno, reporting for the Bermuda Broadcasting News.
And in other news, hundreds of workers in the trades have responded to government's call to register with the Department of Workforce Development without having to pay the fee. Diallo Rabane, the education minister, making the announcement at a news conference today. The goal is to get Bermudian workers certified.
The department undertook a registration drive to develop a list of all persons working in the designated occupations of welders, automotive service technicians, electricians, and landscape gardeners. Both Bermudians and non-Bermudians employed in these designated occupations were encouraged to register at the Department of Workforce Development without paying the required registration fee of $265. The registration drive steadily continues, and several tradesmen have already taken advantage of the fee waiver. As of last week, the Department of Workforce Development reported that a total of 713 persons have registered, and that includes 412 landscape gardeners, 97 auto mechanics, 182 electricians, and 22 welders have visited their offices and registered in each of these designated occupations. The Department of Workforce Development will continue to receive registration applications, and the registration fee will be waived until December 31st, 2017. This is being done to ensure that a comprehensive file is obtained of all persons working in these designated fields. It is important that we get this certification process correct, as it will lead to the protection of Bermudian workers in the designated fields. Let me take this opportunity to encourage any persons out there that are working within these fields that have not come in and registered to please do so and take advantage of the fee waiver that will end on December 31st, 2017.
And in other news, police and first responders attended a report of a road traffic collision that took place on Ord Road in Paget, just west of the Ord Road Laundry near Dunscombe Road at 2:58 p.m. It appears that a 48-year-old man was traveling on Ord Road when he hit a parked truck. The man was taken to the hospital and his condition is believed to be serious. The area was temporarily cordoned off while the relevant police officers processed the scene. Well, stay with us. We'll have more news in tonight's AccuWeather forecast after the break.
Hey Smokey, let's get lunch from the Marketplace Food Court.
You know what? That sounds good.
They have oxtails, pumpkin, curried lamb, lemon chicken, sweet and sour ribs, vegetable stir fry, and the variety goes on.
Their chefs are good. They'll set you right up. Avoid the good carbons.
And don't forget the special dishes from the islands.
It doesn't matter. No matter what you feel like eating, Marketplace will have it.
You know, it's quick, it's quality, and at prices you can count on.
Visit us 7 days a week. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Made for you daily at the Hamilton Marketplace Food Court.
When you shop online, the cheapest, quickest, and easiest way to bring your packages into Bermuda is with U.S. Express at mailboxes.
They're always willing to help. They're willing to go above and beyond. They've helped me many times with packages, to help me with invoicing and all sorts. So I love mailboxes.
Easy, convenient, and fast. The people are fantastic.
Sign up for a U.S. Express account at www.mailboxesunlimited.com today.
When you lie down on a Stearns & Foster bed, you'll appreciate all the craftsmanship we've put in, making it that much harder to get out. Stearns & Foster, crafting the world's finest bed.
Furniture Walk, Bermuda's home of top mattress brands, Stearns & Foster, Therapeutic, and Restonic. Furniture Walk, furnishing Bermuda's homes for over 30 years. Call 292-5209.
Looking for a challenge, new adventures, forge lifelong friendships, and earn an extra $5,000 to $6,000 a year?
Good stuff.
Be a part of a proud and honorable legacy of service. The Royal Bermuda Regiment is seeking volunteers.
Let's go, guys!
Call us at 238-1045 or visit bermudaregiment.bm. The Royal Bermuda Regiment, your regiment.
Welcome back. Jamal Simmons, the Minister for Tourism and Economic Development, says he received and accepted the resignation last night from Alan Dunch, the chair of the Casino Gaming Commission. Mr. Dunch will now stay in the post until early December, while the minister is set to announce his successor next week. All of this follows weeks of a public war of words between the men, and reports Mr. Dunch repeatedly refused the minister's previous request for him to step down. Mr. Dunch now hopeful that government will back off its bill in Parliament that, if passed, would give the minister direct power over members of the Casino Gaming Commission. In other news, a second health review comparing Bermuda to other OECD countries reveals Bermuda has the second highest occurrence of diabetes. That report was unveiled today by Kim Wilson, the Minister for Health, who stated the findings of the Health and Review report will assist her ministry with policy development and program planning overall. There are some indicators, she says, Bermuda can be very proud of, but also some where the island performs poorest of the 44 countries measured.
For example, life expectancy. Life expectancy at birth, on average across the OECD countries, reached 80.6 years, but in Bermuda has a higher life expectancy of 81.1 years, which is higher than the United States, Germany, and the UK, but lower than Canada, France, and Portugal. For comparison reasons, the United States life expectancy rate is 78.8 years. Bermuda's female life expectancy rate at birth is 84.9 years, and male life expectancy at birth is 77.3 years. And as has been previously noted, Bermuda spends more on health care per capita than Portugal, Canada, and the UK, but we're not living as long as those residents. There are many reasons behind that, but it's clear that we can and we should do better. Nevertheless, we're doing really well on smoking, as only 10% of our population smoke daily, which is one of the lowest rates in the OECD. And this is great news comparatively, though of course we strive to reduce that number even further. Heart disease mortality is also decreasing in Bermuda, as is mortality from stroke. Our length of stay in the hospital post-heart attack is now 5 days on average, down from 10 in 2007. In Bermuda, 13% of the population has diabetes, which regrettably is the second highest in all of the OECD, with only Mexico having a higher prevalence of diabetes. Hospital admissions for diabetes, on the other hand, are decreasing, which implies that those with the condition are getting better care, but their admission rate is still higher than the OECD average.
And turning to weather news, a few showers for our Friday, but a nice weekend ahead. Here's the latest from AccuWeather headquarters.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
Good evening. Hopefully you were able to enjoy this beautiful day we had here today, because it was just around perfect, if you ask me. This forecast is brought to you by the BF&M Insurance Group, and enjoy it while you can, because we do have another cold front heading in our direction. Right now things are nice and quiet, but those clouds are going to be building overnight, and we're going to see some wet weather move back into the region tomorrow. So for right now, we're at 70 degrees. You might need a light jacket if you're going to be outside. Humidity is down to 65%. Winds out of the northeast 4 to 8 knots. Water still warm, 77 degrees. Waves inside the reef 1 to 2 feet and outside 4 to 7. So that's a little bit calmer than we saw yesterday as well. Tonight, partly cloudy. Again, those clouds are going to be building, 65 degrees for our temperature. And then tomorrow, that front, it pushes across the island. We're going to see a couple of showers around and also some more clouds. Could be a bit breezy out there. Temperatures at 75 degrees. Taking a look at our tide times, the first high tide, 7:15 p.m. on Thursday, and then the second one at 7:36 in the morning on our Friday. Now, if you're traveling, we do have some gateway forecasts for you. Toronto, nice and dry, but cloudy, 38 degrees. New York and Boston, things are pretty quiet here. Quiet in Atlanta as well, a bit cool, 65. Miami, gorgeous weather. Look at that, a mix of sun and clouds, 82 degrees. And in London, it's in the upper 40s for their highs. Here we are in the Caribbean. We're going to see some wet weather, maybe some thunderstorms popping up in Jamaica toward those evening hours. Staying nice and warm though, 86 degrees. Trinidad up to 90 degrees. Now over the next couple of days, it's going to be pretty nice. Saturday and Sunday staying dry. Temperatures on Saturday just a couple degrees cooler after this cold front moves through on Friday, but still it's going to be sunny, so pretty nice out there. On Sunday, 76 degrees with a couple of clouds. And then Monday, we have our second front moving through. Those showers, they're going to start Sunday overnight and into Monday morning. As Monday goes on, it's going to start drying out, but remain a bit cloudier than usual. And then on Tuesday, it's going to be nice again, 72 degrees with a mix of clouds and sunshine. Stay tuned to Ocean 89, Power 95, and Inspire 105 for all your latest news and weather.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
Fall into savings all month long. Check out the great deals throughout our website. We have everything to create the living room of your dreams. Browse through our site to see the large selection in all price ranges. Entertain guests with the perfect dining set. We have something for all tastes and styles. Imagine falling asleep in your new bedroom. We have just what you're looking for. Don't wait. Call or stop in today and fall into savings all month long.
Visit Bermuda's #1 furniture store today. Big Savings Zone, Southside St. David's.
Christmas in Bermuda is a special time for most of us. Unfortunately, for some families in Bermuda, there is no warm Christmas. This year, many families will be in need. It's the 29th anniversary of the Lions Clubs of Bermuda and the Marketplace helping share the Christmas spirit, so let's help take care of each other. Shop at any Marketplace, shopping center, Modern Mart, or A1 stores and purchase extra tins and non-perishable items. Once you have purchased these items, place your food donations into Santa's bin located at the front of the store. The Lions Clubs will collect your food contributions and assemble them into hampers to be delivered to the families in need around the island. Christmas comes once a year. Help make it a special time for every family in Bermuda. Sponsored in part by the Bermuda Broadcasting Company and the Royal Gazette.
It's a tale of sin, redemption, and forgiveness. A white police officer from Michigan who wrongly sent a man to prison has teamed up with his black victim to tell the story of how forgiveness and reconciliation can improve lives. They're visiting schools in Bermuda to put that message across. We get our story from Hal Davis.
Benton Harbor in the U.S. state of Michigan is a town with a troubled racial history. 2003 saw 2 days of riots when a black motorcyclist died during a police chase. These followed racial protests in 1966, 1967 and 1990. But this unpromising background has produced a story of forgiveness across the racial divide. Jamil McGee was coming out of a shop when he was arrested on drugs charges in 2006. The officer who fabricated the case against him now sits next to him, despite Jamil serving 3 long years in prison before his conviction was overturned.
It was rough for me. That time I became a totally different person. I became upset, bitter, unapproachable. I didn't talk to you. You definitely couldn't talk to me. That's the type of person I became.
The arresting officer, Andrew Collins, was an ambitious policeman who had become unscrupulous about how he secured convictions, including this one.
And I lied in front of the federal prosecutor, I lied in front of the federal judge, I lied in front of the jury that was there, and I said that I saw Jamel, when I pulled up that day, I said that I saw him lean in towards the center console where I found the drugs. Where in reality he was in the store having no clue that I was out at the vehicle.
So how have the two men ended up talking to the students of Berkeley Institute? Collins himself was arrested and sentenced to jail in 2008. Both men say their arrests and time behind bars had a major effect on them.
I started to realize that I needed to do this. I needed to get back right with God as well. So I walked to the yard and I began to reflect on my life entirely. And I quickly realized that a lot of these places that I've been or ended up in, including that one, they were my decisions.
I knew I was wrong and I knew I needed to be punished. So I knew that this was part of it, that I needed to be punished for what I did. So as far as anger and frustration, there was none of that other than angry at myself. You know, having a lot of time to think about the things I had done wrong.
But it's what happened next that brought the men to Bermuda's schools. They met at the Christian Community Development Association, where after release, Collins had become a mentor.
And he gripped my hand extremely tightly to the point where I thought he was going to break it.
After some initial mistrust, the two men chose to put their past behind them and are now friends.
The friendship is formed when we decided to come together and at all costs and make this thing work and let God control it. So we prayed that our friendship will be blessed and that we can teach others how to get to this point. It's a hard road to get here, but it's an easy road to travel once you get there.
So how did their story of forgiveness and redemption go down with the students at Berkeley Institute? Well, it got a warm reception and some warm words too.
I learned that how important it is to forgive, not just to for the other person that did wrong to you or hurt your feelings, but also for yourselves.
So to see the story of two men whose lives had drastically been changed, who came together and kind of work as a yin and yang right now, I think that's truly a great impact and a great message to share with the whole student body.
It was a very positive message, and it's something that you don't always hear all the time. Most times you hear this in the news, but you don't actually get to hear it firsthand from the two people or the people who are involved in something like this. So for this to be at the Berkeley Institute today, it was very inspiring.
So a valuable lesson for the students, many of whom signed a pledge to forgive anyone who's wronged them. A chance for them too, perhaps, to learn how to turn hatred into hope.
Incredible story indeed. Well, now it's time for sports with Earl Baisden.
Some would ask, is it policy or just none of our business? The deadline for the next president of the Bermuda Cricket Board to be nominated was yesterday at 5 p.m. A call to the Bermuda Cricket Board today to ask who has been nominated went unanswered. We have gotten word that Gershon Gibbons and Lloyd Smith have been nominated, but no confirmation from the Cricket Board has been given as of yet. Meanwhile, the Bermuda Cricket Board President Lloyd Frey congratulated Bermuda Cricket Umpire Association umpire Alec Knight on not only passing the West Indies Cricket Umpire Association's practical and oral examinations, but topping the class with the highest mark achieved of 97.5%. Knight beat out 34 other candidates in the recent examination. Darray Rollins is currently ranked 31st in the Premier Cricket Australia Grey Shield 2020 batting averages and aggregates. Rollins has batted 4 times in 4 matches, scoring a total of 105 runs, his highest score being 45. Rollins has an average of 26.25 and a strike rate of 172.1. Rollins also has hit 6 fours and 9 sixes in a total of 71 minutes at the wicket.
Tonight's sports is brought to you by the all-new Boundary at Fairmount, Southampton, the West End's only sports bar. Catch all the action and enjoy smoked to perfection barbecue, beer, and other pub favorites. It's game on at Boundary.
In a meeting attended by Bermuda World Olympians Association and IOC athletic representative Patrick Singleton has seen the World Anti-Doping Agency recommending that Russia be banned from sending a team to next year's Winter Olympic Games in South Korea. WADA has said Russia's anti-doping body remain non-compliant with international code and are urging the International Olympic Committee to ban the country from next year's games in Pyeongchang. The Foundation Board of WADA have approved the recommendations by their Independent Compliance Review Committee to leave Russia non-compliant status as unchanged. They confirmed their decision via a tweet. Attention turns to the IOC, who must now make a decision on whether to bar Russia from the Winter Olympic Games. Their next executive board meeting takes place December 5th. Reports have suggested Russia refused to admit it ran a state-sponsored doping program or that it failed to allow access to samples stored in Moscow's anti-doping laboratory. Unquakwo and his Port Vale teammates dropped out of the FA Youth Cup after a tight affair at the Pro X Stadium against Chesterfield, going down 2-1. The inaugural Bermuda Canada Ryder Cup Golf Tournament for Charity competition concluded at the Port Royal Golf Course yesterday, with Bermuda winning by 2 points. The Coalition for the Protection of Children was the recipient of the event that raised $50,350, with Schroeder's being the main sponsor. Officials have announced the dates for the 2018 event being November 11th through to the 15th. Becky Shepard finished third in the female 40 to 44 age group in the Miami Man Triathlon over the international distance, as Bermuda's contingent performed well in hot and windy conditions. Shepard completed the 0.6-mile swim in 18:39, the 22-mile bike course in 55:53, and the 6.6-mile run course in a time of 58:30 for an overall time of 2 hours, 15 minutes, and 57 seconds. During the Miami Man Half Ironman, which sees competitors compete in a 1.2-mile swim, 56-mile mile bike and 13.1 mile run course, Frances Betts finished 21st in the female 45 to 49 age group division, clocking a time of 6 hours, 50 minutes, and 24 seconds. Johnny Betts clocked 5 hours, 24 minutes, 50 seconds, finishing 15th, competing in the men's 45 to 49 age group with a time of 6 hours, 24 minutes, and 17 seconds. Sarah Hicks finished 11th, competing in the female 40 to 44 age group. Alec Shepard finished the men's 45 to 49 age group division 21st, completing the course in a time of 5 hours, 36 minutes, and 52 seconds. Competing in the international distance 0.6 mile swim, 22 mile bike, 6.6 run course, Richard Hammond finished the men's 45 to 49 age group in 15th place, clocking 2 hours, 19 minutes, and 27 seconds. Jordy Benson clocked 4 hours, 7 minutes, and 40 seconds during the 1.2 mile swim and 56 mile bike aqua bike course. Benson finished 18th, competing in the men's 50 to 54 age group. Amali Smith and her Wilberforce women's basketball teammates pulled off a win 86 to 81 in overtime at Ohio Christian University. The Bermuda Netball Association Senior League held makeup matches last evening at Bernard Park. The Storm defeated the Lindos Tigers 30 to 26. The Storm got 17 goals from Sonia Townsend, with Kamala Nazir adding 13 goals. Allison Utterbridge would lead the Lindos Tigers in scoring with 16 goals, while Jakenya Trott added 7 goals and April Jackson scored 3 times. In other action last evening, Phoenix Blazers defeated the North Village Lady Rams Red Team 42 to 30, while the Phoenix Heat defeated the North Village Lady Rams White Team 67 to 34. A Bermuda Bowl hockey doubleheader took place at the PCC hockey rink last evening, producing 11 goals on the night. In the opener, the Vancouver Canucks defeated the Montreal Canadiens 4-2. Ross Ruffinage scored 2 goals to lead the Vancouver Canucks to victory, with single strikes from Christopher Jackson and Nathan Kalowski. The Montreal Canadiens got single strikes from Chris Allington and Bill McClure. In the other match on the night, these Ottawa Senators defeated the Winnipeg Jets 3-2 on a shootout goal.
Tonight's sports has been brought to you by the all-new Boundary at Fairmount, Southampton, the West End's only sports bar. Catch all the action and enjoy smoked to perfection barbecue, beer, and other pub favorites. It's game on at Boundary.
I'm Earl Baisden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
You can count on us.
Save $6 on fresh USDA whole or half boneless ribeye, $13.99 per pound. $4.99 for a 5-pound bag of Canadian red or russet potatoes. Only $1.59 for a 16-ounce box of Ronzoni elbow macaroni. Start your day off with ShopRite Quick Oats, $3.19 for an 18-ounce tub. Arm & Hammer laundry detergent, $9.99 for selected varieties of 61.2-ounce bottles. All stores open Monday through Saturday until 10 p.m. and Sunday 9 a.m. to 7 p.m.
You can count on us.
I got my freedom. I got my freedom. I got my freedom. I got my freedom. Walking in liberty, oh yeah. 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 I got my freedom. I got my freedom. I got my freedom. I got my freedom. Walking in liberty, oh yeah.
Hi, I'm Charles Webb, inviting you to join me on Monday nights at 8 for Season 2 of Inside Bermuda Homes, a program showing how Bermuda lives. That's Monday nights at 8 o'clock on ZBM TV 9 for Inside Bermuda Homes.
Bermuda's Scars, Saving Children and Revealing Secrets is honored for training a large segment of the population on prevention, and a special survey highlights startling statistics. Mike Sharp reports.
Ricky Brathwaite, a director of the Bermuda Health Council, says a survey went out to 500 people and more than 700 responded on a variety of questions.
One of the things we found out is that 1 in 3 individuals indicated that they had been exposed to or been sexually abused at some point in their life, and about 45% of those individuals indicated that that abuse happened before they reached the age of 18. So there's a critical situation going on within the community that needs to be addressed, and the numbers portray that. 1 in 3 may actually be a conservative number. but the data says, based on the responses, it is about 1 in 3 of the population. And that's an important thing to understand, because the implications are, for example, it's been shown in other countries that if you are sexually abused, your annual health expenditure, how much you spend on health care, may be $2,600 more per person. Right? You're 4 times more likely to have things like anxiety and depression, 4 times more likely to have suicidal ideations or attempt suicides, 16 times more likely to have a sleep disorder. So all these things have a real impact on the lives of individuals, and we have to get it at the source. Even things like crime. I know we've dealt with a lot of crime recently in Bermuda. It says 13% of people who commit crimes were actually attributed to sexual abuse that happened earlier in their life.
Caitlin Brewer, the president and CEO of Darkness to Light in Charleston, South Carolina, flew into the island and presented SCAR's Bermudian official, Debbie Ray Rivers, with a special plaque after reaching 12% of the community and their prevention survey.
Bermuda is the first country in the entire world, because of SCARs and Debbie, to reach tipping point. And not only did they reach tipping point, they far surpassed it with 12% of the Bermuda population trained.
And that's our newscast for tonight. I'm Diane Brewer. Thanks for sharing your Thursday evening with us, everyone. Good night.